What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as we roll into the weekend with the Golden Bullet Global event going on, I wanted to highlight a build I've been using not only for this event, but also, just running control points, territory controls, things like that. It is so much fun to use, and I wanted to share it with you today. Now, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. Make sure you turn those notifications on. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, and remember, we are currently having a giveaway for a PlayStation 5. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced on October 2nd of this year. Now, the initial footage you're looking at is with the Golden Bullet Global event active. However, that obviously doesn't stick around in the game forever, so I'm also going to show you footage with it turned off as well. But you can see when it's turned on, you are absolutely annihilating NPCs, and this is with the ACS-12 shotgun as my primary. I mean, I was at a good distance back. They couldn't even make it through the doorway, so again, if you can run with this or put together a build like this before this event is over, I definitely recommend it because it is so much fun to use. Now, one of the things that's great about this build is that it's extremely effective even when we don't have this global event going on. I mean, you can see here I'm on heroic content and again just absolutely shredding through enemies left and right. Now, one thing I want to make sure I mention, and I do this at the beginning of every build video I put together, is that this is just a template. This is one of so many different ways you can run with a build like this, so the most important thing as always is to truly take your time and make a build your own. And not only that, you may realize that when we go through this build, you don't have certain pieces of gear that I'm highlighting, so as we go through it, I will give you a few options that you can jump to, so that way, regardless of what you may have in your inventory, you can put something together that can definitely get the job done. So starting off as always with the specialization, I'm using Technician for the sole purpose of the ability to use the linked laser pointer, because when that's equipped, you will pulse every single enemy you target, and that comes to play with the talents on our weapons and the body armor. Now remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, always make sure you have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're going to get a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which weapon you have equipped. Now, my primary weapon for this build is the ACS-12 shotgun, and the reason I prefer that over the rock and roll is that with this shotgun you can put a different talent on it, and for this one I'm using flatline because again, when enemies are pulsed, you're going to get a 15% weapon damage bonus. Now, if you don't have this weapon as yet, and this actually holds true for anything that I'm going to be talking about in this build that you don't have, just farm countdown. Set your targeted loot, farm countdown. It is such an efficient way to get loot. But anyway, with this version here, as I already mentioned, you can see I have the talent flatline, and I also have that on my SMG as well. Now, there are a handful of SMGs in the game that have a long barrel, which means you can equip the linked laser pointer to it. Now, I usually just use the ACS-12, but the only problem with that weapon is that you can easily run out of ammunition with that thing. I mean, it's happened to me a few times. So my secondary, when it comes to that, it's really up to you, whatever you like to use. You can use an SMG with flatline. You could use a Kingbreaker, which has perfect flatline. So again, try out different things and really find something that suits your game style. As far as my sidearm goes, I do not touch it with this build. Now, moving on to the gear itself, you can see I'm running 4 strikers and 2 UZINA. Starting off with the mask is the first piece of striker, and we're using 4. So we get all of those gear set bonuses. You can see the 2 pieces 15% weapon handling, 3 pieces 15% rate of fire, which in my opinion is what just makes this so much fun, and the 4 pieces striker's gamble, where weapon hits amplify total weapon damage by 0.5%, stacking up to 50 times. 2 stacks are lost each second. Now, in all of these pieces, I'm definitely trying to stack crit hit damage and crit hit chance everywhere I can. Moving on to the body armor, it is the named UZINA, the closer. This thing is, it's really becoming one of my favorite pieces of gear in the game. I strongly suggest farming for multiple versions of this thing. Now, the reason it's so effective is because of the talent Perfect Spotter, which increases your weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. And remember, because we have the linked laser pointer on both of our weapons, every single enemy we target is pulsed. Next, we have the holster, the knee pads, and the gloves, which are the 3 remaining pieces of the Striker's gear set. That shows you where my head is at. The Striker's gear set, and again, trying to stack crit hit chance and crit hit damage. Now, we make our way to the backpack, and this is where you do have a lot of options. Now, to be honest with you, my first choice would usually be the Memento. However, I wanted to make sure that I highlight a different bag. Here I'm using the setup, and both of, the bag and the chest are guaranteed drops in the seasonal reward tracks. You can get them that way, or once again, I strongly recommend set your gear to UZINA and farm countdown. Now, when it comes to the skills that you choose for this build, it's really up to you. I'm using my two favorite because of my game style. I like using the Crusader shield in case things get sideways, and as far as the assault drone, it is a great distraction to NPC and puts out damage as well. And remember, with our body armor, we do get that extra 20% skill damage. Again, this is not a skill build, but they do coincide together. Now, most of you know, if you've been at this channel for a while, that one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have here. So as always, if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know in the section down below, as the main goal is to help out anyone we can. With all that being said, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your amazing support of this channel, and remind you, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please let me know in the comment section and I will get back to you as quick as I can. On that note, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, as I mentioned at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
We'll go see what it is.
The main holding area is downstairs. Get moving.
Eat this!